ઓમ શ્રી રામ જય જય રામ ઓમ શ્રી રામ 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 જય રામ ઓમ Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om. Pranams to you all. So from today we thought we will go through the Bhagavad Gita. So from Bhagavad Gita it is a vast and so many topics are there. So in that we thought we will go through peace. What are the slokas which talks about peace in Srimad Bhagavad Gita? So that is what we are all trying to do. So let us look into it. As you all must have seen the vision, vision also contains the same thing. So that's why we are, as a part of our sadhana, we will go through that. So chapter number 2, sloka number 64, it talks about the peace. Raga dvesha viyuktastai vishyanindriya yaischaran atmasya vairya vidhyeyatma prasada madhigachyate. But the self-controlled man, moving among objects with his senses under restraint and free from both attraction and repulsion, attains peace. You just read the sloka properly, wait. You take out the sloka. Bhagavad Gita. Sloka number 64. Raga dvesha viyuktaistu Vishayanindriyaischaran Atma Vaishyaridheyatma Prasadhamadhigacchati. So this was the sloka 64. So what it talks, but the self-controlled man, moving among objects and with his senses under control, that is restraint, and free from both, what are they? Attraction and repulsion, attains peace. So if mind is not controlled, the self is not controlled, what are the problems comes in Bhagavad Gita chapter number 2, 62nd sloka it was explained. Let us see the 62nd sloka number 62. When a man thinks of objects, attachment for them arises. From attachment, desire is born. From desire arises anger. That is how uncontrolled it will become. So no control will be there. Mind was affected, there will not be any control. So here talks about if the mind is controlled, self is controlled, man moving among objects, he don't have to avoid the objects. Senses and sense objects, he will be moving among them with his senses under restraint, control, and free from both attraction and repulsion, attains peace. That is what Srimad Bhagavad Gita speaks about it. So, yukta, viyukta. Vikta means associated. Viyukta means not associated, free of likes and dislikes. Like, dislikes are problems of the mind. Both make mind lose its discriminative power. So, indriyaihi. Senses free of ragadvesha means mind which is behind senses is free of raga and dvesha. With the senses covered with free of likes and dislikes. Senses mastered. Vidheyatma, mind focused, is not concerned. Seeker free of ragadvesha, mind free, works with the senses objects freely, senses and sense objects. So that is how the condition of the person. So let us look into it. Let us see. Okay. So 64th sloka says, but means we have seen the second sloka. If the control is not there, what all can happen? But the self-restrained, one who has gained self-mastery becomes serene, free from attraction and aversion. Such a one moves amidst the senses controlling them. So, moves amongst the senses means controlling them. Control is a mental thing, it is not a physical. Sense control is a mental thing, it is not a physical thing. So, sense control is not physically limiting our contact with the sense objects. Self-control is not physically limiting our contact with sense objects. It is not fascinating how much we can have. It is not abstinent. It is not self-denial. It is mastering over the experience. It is mastering over the experience. And to highlight this, to get this concept in us, we have given extreme examples like we all know about Durvasa. We all must have heard Durvasa, no? Durvasa was a sage, he was a saint who is supposed to have voracious hunger and extreme anger. Those are his two qualities. He had voracious hunger and extreme anger. These are two qualities. So once what happened? So Durvasa came to Lord Krishna's. They heard, some people came and told Lord Krishna that Durvasa has come. So Krishna said, any sage comes to their country, they have to feed. So the Lord Krishna said, no, he is a voracious hunger he will have. So you make lot of food. So many people made so much of food. And he went for a bath and all. So these people have to cross the river and go and then feed him. So they all carried the food. Then they went, they saw river how to cross. It was so difficult. They didn't find a way. Then some people came back to Lord Krishna. They said, see, we have made food as per your orders. Now how to cross? Kindly help us. So water, we can't cross the river. So he said, Lord Krishna said, you kindly go and pray. What is the prayer? The prayer is, if Lord Krishna is a Nitya sannyasi. Huh? Brahmachari. Askalita brahmachari means is a brahmachari, not married. But whereas everybody knows he had so many wives, so many marriages, no? 16 lakhs or 16? 16,000 wives he has. So everybody started laughing. They thought, we all know he had so many wives. He says he is a brahmachari. We have to go and pray. If Lord Krishna is brahmachari, kindly give us the way to cross the river. So, but anyway, they had belief. So Lord told, they went to the river and prayed. If Lord Krishna is Askalita brahmachari. So Askalita means Achala. Okay, brahmachari means sthira. He is a sthira in brahmacharya. He is sthir in brahmacharya. If he is sthir in brahmacharya, kindly give us the way. So the river immediately gave the way. They crossed. They went and fed Durvasa. Then after feeding Durvasa, they have to come back again. Again the river has to give the way. Then they went back to Durvasa. Then they told the same thing. See, we have fed you, now we have to cross and go back. The river, how to cross the river. While coming, we went to Lord Krishna. He told us the prayer. Then Nadi, that river gave us the way. Now how to do? Kindly help us. Then Durvasa said, you kindly go to the river and pray. If Durvasa is a Nitya Upavasi, means he is fasting. Nitya means daily fasting. If he is a daily fasting person, kindly give us the way. They wondered, what is this? Just now we fed him so much. But they went and prayed. The river gave the way. What is the teaching they are giving us? So self-control is not in the extent of sense contact. It is in mastery over the senses. There are two ways of exercising this control, because there are two words. What are they? Atma Vaisya, Vidheyatma. Both meaning the same, self-mastery. So the first is, we all have desires, isn't it? We cannot say we don't have desires. Every one of us will be having desires. If the desire directly manifests, if the desire directly fuse into action, it is termed indiscriminative. Directly if it manifests, it is indiscriminate. And it is malignant. You all know cancer, malignant, cancer. It's like a cancer. And it causes great harm to us, because that action rebounds on us as more desire in our system. Just simple, repulse comes, desire comes. Then I act without going through the discrimination. So, but if the desire is scanned through the intellect, in the mind, desire comes, we should not act immediately. So, the desire should be given to the intellect. It should go through the intellect. But if the desire is scanned through the intellect examines it, supervises it, and then decides. Whether it is perfectly all right to go for this desire, or is it not. That intellect has the capacity, because it has the capacity of discriminative power. It can decide, but mind doesn't have. So mind, when the desire comes, we should not act impulsively immediately. The desire should be given to intellect. It should go through the intellect. Buddhi has got the discriminative power. It can decide what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad. So that means as soon as desire comes, we should not just put into action. But if the desire is scanned through the intellect examines it, supervises it and decides. Yes, it is perfectly all right for you to have it, or no, it is dangerous, you cannot have it. That is how it answers. The intellect answers to us, yes, you can go ahead, this is okay for you, or no, it is dangerous, you cannot have this desire fulfilled, so do not fulfill. That is what the intellect will tell. So we abide by the intellect advice. Then it is called a discriminative action, which is benign, beneficial to you. Benign means it is not cancerous, it is not dangerous, so we can have that desire fulfilled. So usually what we do, mind, as soon as a desire comes, we just act on it and fulfill it. So that is dangerous. It is like a malignant cancer, it seems. So it should be made to go through the intellect, buddhi. Buddhi has got the discriminative power. Let the buddhi decide whether to fulfill this desire. Is it okay? Is it beneficial or not? Or is it harmful? So we have to go through. So then it is benign tumor, means it is not harmful, we can go through the desire, fulfill. So the first stage of self-control is, don't let an existing desire directly propel to activity. Let it pass through the intellect. Let an existing desire directly, let it not propel activity, let it pass through the intellect. Then the second one is, we may not have a desire, but without effort, we come across a fresh experience. Like, we go somewhere, some Satsangs or some place to visit and all, no? We go somewhere. There what happens? We go for, bhiksha. Some, dinner, you call it dinner, we call it bhiksha, sannyasis. So when we go there, they give bhiksha, we nicely eat, we sit. Then they will come with a special fruit. This fruit you must eat. Then we say, no, we are full. I don't think we may not be able to eat now. They say, no, the speciality of the fruit, this fruit specially comes only in this place. Nowhere you will get it. And it is so tasty, you just taste it. You will really relish it. You will enjoy it. You won't get it. But actually we did not go to eat that fruit. It came and they give, we ate. But what happened? It's good experience. It is very tasty. We enjoyed it. That much is okay. But if we go beyond, then problem comes. So you have it, you enjoyed it. Up to that, you are okay. Now, what happens is, after the experience is over, the mind lingers in the enjoyment of that particular object. I ate, that is okay, enjoyed. Then what happens? After coming, I'll start thinking, again about that experience. Oh, that was very nice. There danger. You enjoy, then leave that. Then no problem. When the mind lingers in the enjoyment, that is when you create new desire in your system. That we should not do. So what is self-control here? Let the experience end with that experience. Don't let the hangover effect take place. Move to the next experience. So you have eaten that fruit, enjoyed it, and end there, and move to the next experience. Then no problem will be there. So this is where we need to exercise. Usually what happens, we all know, we eat some sweet, some fruit, something we see, after coming back again that comes into the mind. Their problem starts, new desire. We are creating new desire. So Lord says, enjoy it. End the experience there. Do not carry forward. Again, don't think about that experience. If you start thinking, new desire is created. So mind should be vigilant, Usually this happens wherever we go. Oh, I went there, we start telling. That means we are bringing back the experience again and again. So new desire is created. So these two things we need to exercise it and master it. So what are the two ways of controlling? One is, whenever a desire propels, we should not put into activity. Immediately, we should not. What we have to do? We have to go through the intellect. When desire comes, give that desire to the intellect. Intellect has the capacity to discriminate whether it is suitable to you or not, whether it is good to you or harmful. If we don't go through the discriminative faculty, intellect, then we will have problem. We face problems. So self-control is an internal thing, that is mental, it is not a physical thing. So mastering the senses. Sense control need to be internally mastered, not external. So then what happens? Every experience we enjoy. Then we move to the next experience. We move to the next experience. Otherwise what happens? We will be thinking only about that experience. What are the senses we all have? Eye, ear, nose, skin, tongue. These are the senses. Mind also will be there. Then objects from the world is a sight, sound, smell, feeling, or feel or touch, and then taste. So come to the corresponding sense objects, then this is communicated through the sense center in the mind. And when only it is communicated to the sense center in the mind, the experience and enjoyment is registered, that we enjoyed it, and it is complete. Let it end there. If the mind continues thinking of that enjoyment after the experience is over, then you create a fresh desire. So we should be careful. Now when we come to know how to master the self-control senses, is this only. We should see that that experience is not again brought into. If the mind continues thinking of that enjoyment after the experience is over, then you create a fresh desire. There we are violating the sense control. Sense control is violated. Then we get it. So simple, no? So self-control is very simple. Don't let existing desires directly propel to activity. And second, do not let fresh experience create a new desire in you by lingering in that experience or in that enjoyment. Then if we master our senses like this, what is the result? The result is prasadam adhigachyate. You attain serenity or peace of mind. Then peace of mind will come. we will enjoy peace of mind. So whenever there is no desire, peace of mind will be there, isn't it? So what is the way Lord Krishna is showing to peace? How to regain our peace? We are peace, but somehow it is scattered. Peace is not something outside which we gain it. Peace is our being. We are peace, but it is disturbed. Why? Because of the desire entering. Because of the entry of the desire. We are a peaceful being. Because of the desire, agitation, ashanti started. So much of disturbance is started. So he says, the self-restrained one, whoever controls the senses like this. What are the ways? 2 ways he told. What are the 2 ways of controlling the senses? Lord Krishna has told us. We forgot. Sense control, 2 ways he has been described by Lord Krishna. What are they? One is, whenever there is a desire propel in our mind, do not put into activity. What we have to do? We have to go through the desire, should go through the discriminative power, that is intellect. Then intellect, what it does? It will decide whether that is good for me or it is danger for me. So as soon as a desire is propelled in my mind, I should not put into activity. I should go through discriminative power, buddhi. Buddhi has the capacity to decide whether it is good for us or no, whether it is harmful to us or good. So the existing desire directly should not propel to activity. Let it pass through the intellect. Is it understandable? So now whenever a desire is there in our mind, we should not immediately put into action. So what we have to do? We have to go through the intellect. Allow the intellect to decide. Many times it happens, our intellect will be telling not to do, it is not good for you, but still mind takes us and puts us. So we should be alert, we should be careful. We should not act. When intellect says it is harmful to you, it is better to not to act on that desire. So that is what the warning he is giving. Then only sense mastering. Otherwise, if you just act, then finish. Then second one is, what did he say? Whenever there is a new, fresh experience is there, something, no, when we go because we have not gone for that, but sometimes we get it, we relish it, we enjoy it, then we should end the experience there. If we linger on it, we should bring it again and again into our mind. That creates the new desires. So we should not do that. When the mind lingers in the enjoyment, that is when control, then what happened? We create new desire in our system. Usually what happens is, after the experience is over, the mind lingers in the enjoyment of the particular object. Oh, I ate that, no, that was very nice. Where did you get it? How do you do it? So many things, that continuous chain. One leads to the other, one leads to the other. So enjoy it and leave it. So that is what they say. If we do like that, both these things, if we are able to follow it, Lord says, prasadam adhigachyate, your mind becomes serene. Your mind will attain peace, your original nature. So are we for that or no? We want peace or no? All of us wants peace? Then we need to exercise, some control, something. So from now onwards, what we will do? Any desire comes, we will give it to the intellect. Immediately we will not act. Existing desires also. That means we should think with intellect, then it will tell us. Suppose you want to buy something, you want to get something, or some desire, whether it is good for you, is it needed to you or not, the intellect will tell you. It will warn slowly. We know also, intellect will be telling one side, no, don't buy this, no, this is not needed, or it is harmful to you. We should listen also. When intellect says, we should listen to it. Then peace can be maintained. Then whenever a new experience, some place we go, it's very nice, when will I go again? New desire is created. Then for that I will be working out. Then if I am able to go, okay. If I am not able to go, again problem. So many things, one leads to the so many other things. So everything is desire only. So we'll also read what is written here. We'll read first Ranganathan Swamiji. What did he say? 64. Sloka number 64, chapter number 2. But the self-controlled person, moving among sense objects, with the senses under one's restraint and free from attraction and aversion, attains to tranquility. The Gita does not want us to leave the sensory world and go to lead an ascetic life in some corner. Not at all. Live in the world, live in the midst of sensory objects. There is no harm, but do something to strengthen yourself against the energies that have the tendency to pull you down. There is no harm, but do something to strengthen yourself against the energies that have the tendency to pull you down. So, raga dvesha viyuktaistu. When you give up raga and dvesha, attachment and aversion, when you give up attachment and aversion, vishayan indriyahi charan. with your sensory system moving freely among sensory objects, moving about freely. But Atma Vaisyaha, by one who is self-possessed, Vidheyatma, a person who has achieved self-mastery, such a person, Prasadam Adhigachyate, attains real peace, tranquility, serenity, the calm, joyous, free state of mind is called Prasada. Such a person attains to tranquility. Prasadam Adhigachyati. When you get prasada of the mind, what happens to you? Today we speak of quality of life. That qualitative enrichment of life comes to you at that stage. So this is how Swamiji says. So we have to do something to strengthen that. To control, no, we know now, but to control may not be. Next moment the mind will take us and put us. We may not be able to hold on to that. So for that, what we have to do? So Papa says, self-control, it is not easy thing. Mind control is not that easy. What we have to do? Hold on to God thought continuously. So to hold on to God thought continuously, he says, Nama chanting is the simplest and best method. Constant remembrance of God. To remember God is chanting. That is the method he has prescribed. Meditation, chanting, and satsang, listening to scriptures, master's words, wisdom words, all that will help us. It will give us strength, because we know whatever is available in the world, they are all temporary, perishable, changing. The object which gives me happiness now, after some time we don't know whether that same thing will give us happiness or not. So happiness is not there in the objects. That all we come to know through Satsangs, master's words. So though I know, again I want that pleasure to enjoy. Again and again I will be going. So how to do this? So all of us, each one of us, have to think and try and try and try. So one more master is there, we will read this also. 64. Verse 61 pronounces the importance of self-control. If a person does not practice self-control, he is bound to meet his downfall. First thing we should know, why we need self-control, otherwise we will go lower and lower. We will fall down. So the previous two verses trace the ladder of fall. What is the ladder of fall? What is the ladder of fall? Simple words, let us try to look into from that sloka. We have the ladder of fall, verse number 62-63. As a ball rolls down a staircase, we know the ball, how it rolls down the staircase. It bounces off the first step gently, then it jumps down the next step, and then gathering momentum bounces down with higher speed and in longer leaps. It is easiest to catch initially, but that becomes increasingly difficult as it journeys to the bottom. So to fall is not wrong. All of us have learnt how to walk after falling several times. As a child, how many times we fall. Then many times after falling only we learned walking. So to remain fallen is wrong. You fall, but we have to get up. But remain fallen like that only, not getting up is not good. So the ladder of fall, if we know, so ladder of fall is described to prevent us from falling or to help us catch ourselves in time. Number 1, brooding causes attachment. Dhyayato vishayan pumshate sangaha teshu pajayate. Objects and beings in the world are many. Being with them is not a problem. Thinking them to be pretty good or pretty good also is not a problem. But when in ignorance we superimpose joy on them, we think in that object is giving us joy. Really it is not. But when in ignorance we superimpose joy on them, sukhadhyasa, and then brood over them, then that causes in us a desire to possess it. First we say, oh, this is very nice, this is very good. After that slowly I want to have it. How nice it is, I like it, it would be good to have it. Entertaining such thoughts, sankalpas, leads to attachment for things and beings. So how a attachment is developed, beautifully Bhagavan is bringing out. So how does the attachment develops? First, being with the objects and is not a problem. Objects and beings in the world are many. Being with them is not a problem. Thinking them to be pretty good or pretty good also is not a problem. But when in ignorance we superimpose joy on them and then brood over them, then that causes in us a desire to possess it. How nice it is, I like it, it would be good to have it. Entertaining such thoughts leads to attachment for things and beings. So we need to avoid this. People also, we get attached like this only. So be in the world, but don't let the world be in you. Be in the world, but don't let the world be in you. So that is first one, how attachment develops. Then attachment gives rise to desire. Sanga sanjayate kamaha. Thoughts get strengthened through repetition. Thoughts get strengthened through repetition. Attachment to the thought gets stronger by ruminating on it again and again and give rise to the desire, I want it. Addiction is a compulsive desire, I must have it, I want it now, I can't live without it. So desires do not allow us to focus on other thoughts or actions. They crop up all the time and keep distracting us. How desires takes away from our goal, It takes away from our goal. Thoughts get strengthened through repetition. Repeatedly thinking, it becomes stronger. Then attachment to the thought gets stronger. by ruminating on it again and again, and gives rise to the desire. Then desire starts. I want it. Addiction is a compulsive desire. I must have it. I want it now. I cannot live without it. So desires do not allow us to focus on other thoughts or actions. If this is going on in the mind, we can't concentrate on anything. They crop up all the time and keep distracting us. So what is the first one? Brooding causes attachment. Second one is attachment give rise to desire. Third, desires cause hesitation and anger. Kamat krodho vijayate. Hesitation is directly proportionate to the number of desires or thoughts of desires. The more the desires, the more the hesitation. Strangely, we search for peace and also keep increasing our desires. We also want peace, but we also want to increase our desires. Peace cannot be possible. So the already distracted mind gets more agitated and frustrated. Desires cause anger. That is how it leads to the anger. Then what happens? Anger causes delusion. First how it started? Brooding. Over and over again thinking. Then that causes attachment. Attachment leads to desire. Then desire leads to anger. Then anger causes delusion. Krodha bhavati sammoha. And angered mind is highly agitated, and the intellect cannot discriminate too well. Even intellect also becomes weak. When it takes the form of rage, the intellect loses control over the mind and it runs amok. Enraged, a man speaks or does anything that comes to his mind. The intellect is bypassed. This results in temporary insanity, and the intellect gets confused, not knowing what to do. So much confusion is created. The desire has got so much of a troubling thing. So we should not entertain. Then delusion makes us forget our past knowledge. Delusion makes us forget our past knowledge. Sammoha, smruti, vibhramaha. We are the sum of values, wisdom and knowledge gathered from past experiences. Beautiful example, when the computer hangs, no stored information can be accessed. When computer gets hanged, we can't access the old whatever is available stored information. Similarly, when the intellect is deluded, rational thinking hangs. Intellect is deluded, what happens? Rational thinking hangs. Discriminative power won't work. It is put on hold, and the wisdom becomes unavailable to us. Jnana becomes unavailable. When past knowledge is forgotten, the intellect is destroyed. The job of the intellect is to understand, analyze and decide based on past experience and available information. When the intellect is neither able to comprehend the current situation nor access past knowledge, it crashes and shuts down totally. Then a destroyed intellect destroys the individual. We are cultured or civilized or human due to our intellectual ability to discriminate between right and wrong, good and bad, and the choices we make. Once the intellect is destroyed, we are like animals in human form with no discrimination and no choice. We then become incapable of achieving any great goal in life. So, when most intellects in society get destroyed and we become inhuman, humanity shall perish. Drugs and alcohol directly affect our discriminative faculty. We see people under their influence behaving no better than animals. So, how do we prevent this fall? We can prevent such falls from our civilized human stature, we can prevent such falls from our civilized human stature by staying firm in the knowledge that happiness is not in objects but in our own true nature. What is the firm knowledge? We are the happiness. Happiness is not there outside in objects. It is our true nature is happiness. It is not there outside. Not wasting time brooding over objects. Keeping ourselves busy with duties and creative and meaningful activities. This is also important. We should keep ourselves busy with duties and creative and meaningful activities. Then decreasing non-conducive desires, need-based, we should not entertain all the desires. Then increasing conducive desires. Then not insisting that all our desires ought to be fulfilled. Desires may be so many, it's all God's will, okay, whatever is fulfilled, okay. So we should not go behind it. Not deciding, acting or speaking when in anger. When we are angry, we should avoid decision making. We should avoid any activity also or speaking. Chanting the name of God when we see ourselves getting angry. Satsangs Swami always used to say, many people used to ask how to control anger. It is very difficult. Without our knowledge, we don't want to get angry, but suddenly it comes. So Swamiji used to say, whenever anger is there, wait or chant God's name 10 times, then speak. By the time the anger gets subsided inside. So chanting God's name. Reading the scriptures and keeping good company, good satsanga. So that is how we can avoid that. Then we also have seen two types of fulfillment of desires, two ways, and then not to go behind it, not to brood over them. What are they we have seen? Nothing we are remembering. Self-control, senses control. We can move and miss that desire, this world and worldly objects. We don't have to leave and go anywhere. But what we have to do? Senses and sense objects, let it be there. It's not a self-denial, it is a mastering over the senses, mastering over the experience. Two ways of exercising this control. First one is we didn't remember anything. Whenever a desire propels from the mind, do not bring into activity. What we have to do? We have to go through intellect, discriminative power. Then intellect will tell us, yes, it is not harmful to you, you can go ahead and have it, or it will tell you it is harmful to you, do not go for it. Then second one is new experience. When we have a new enjoyment or experience, we should end there. Afterwards, we should not repeatedly think and bring that experience again and again into our mind. That leads to creation of new desires. So this is how self-control is, mastering is explained. Still yes, some more are there. Anyway, we will see tomorrow also. Kindly share your ideas. We all know when we go through, we may get new things also. Start thinking, all of us, let us start thinking. So how to do it, and any other thing is, any other method is there. Is it possible to do it? He may be telling Lord Krishna. So we have to look into also. So let us try. So if we are able to follow these two methods, he says prasadam adhigachyate, serenity of the mind, peace, attainment of peace will be there. We all want peace, no? Then we should try. This is sloka number 64, chapter number 2. So let us again think it over and bring out our points practically. Is it applicable? So we will see in daily life how we should apply. Is it possible? And we may come across some incidents or some things, no? We will try to share tomorrow. We don't know. Tomorrow is Sunday. Sunday there is no satsang, only Ramnam will be there. Monday we again will be meeting for satsang. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om, pranams to you all. Hari Om.